So I thought I'd send out a quick thing on what the civil engineering kids did this year. They were tasked with designing a recplex on the area just north of the boys' locker rooms. So this is the area. This is one of the buildings. Here is Jesus, the new statue. That was a requirement that they didn't interfere with that. And they had some interesting ideas, as you'll see. Some pretty cool, some just a little wacko and always creative. This is the main circle now where kids are dropped off, and this is entrance A, and of course this is the Bransman Chapel. So it would go on this big chunk of land, which is somewhat open, some would argue wasted, but that's the idea. So the first idea was the Huther Hockey Arena. That's their title, not mine, which I found interesting because it's kind of hideous from this perspective. They tried to pretty up the front a little bit, but the top view down is not so good. And they also weren't able to plot it properly, so it doesn't look quite as nice as some of the other ones. But they were able to fit in a very nice hockey arena, as long as you had to dig down and go underneath the pavement, because the width was a little bit bigger than they wanted it to be. So it's somewhat unfeasible, but a lot of fun. And their big thing was putting in these boxes you can see over here for hockey moms to have very relaxing time. I don't know whose mom is complaining about freezing to death at hockey games, but that was a big deal to them. So this was my first one. It's probably my least favorite because I was hoping for more multiple use, as you'll see coming up. So idea number two is swimming and bowling. The basement would be a swimming pool, and then upstairs would be a bowling alley with lots of weights and stuff like that. This opening right here is the same as this opening right here. These are locker rooms and other things, but they were very into the pool idea. They didn't give me a good view, but this is idea number three, soccer and weight room. This is the picture you would see from the outside. Quite impressive, quite beautiful. These cutouts you'll see in a little bit, I believe. No, that might be a different one, we'll see. Create a lot of natural light, but I'll show you that one in a minute. So this one would have a soccer field. Yep, and that's where they were going with the natural light. You'll see a rendering in a second. And then the upper level would be a wraparound, kind of similar to the Salvi now, except wider so that it could have weights and treadmills and things like that. And then there's a coach's room, film room really over here, which was kind of nice. See a fair amount of wasted space here, so they don't really care that much about making it perfect. But that would be the main entrance and a door, so somebody would have to watch it. And the soccer field's actually quite big, so it was pretty impressive what they were able to squeeze in there. And these are rendered drawings. They're really pretty. They look like actual photographs. And you can see the natural light coming in. And they left plenty of space for the people to have room up there, but also for the light to come in. This looks like there's like stripes on the field, but that's actually a railing if you look closely from this side. So they do some amazing work, really cool stuff. Here's the plot of land from a different point of view. And here's the idea number four, basketball and miniature golf. I'll come back to the miniature golf in a second. They didn't quite have as high quality rendering stuff, but this is the similar idea. Instead of a soccer field, it's basketball court, and then upstairs are all the treadmills and weights all the way around, and it's got a room for bathrooms or a film room. But they creatively decided to put a miniature golf course on the roof, because I'm sure that wouldn't cause any liability issues or anything, or anybody bringing up a 5-iron and whacking balls over into the football field, or falling off or anything else. And they only did 3 or 4 holes here. They didn't finish all of them, but they thought it'd be great for a miniature golf team, and then we could host competitions up on the roof. Yeah, enough of that. This is one of the prettiest ones, soccer, swim, and weights. So they really went and outdid themselves. Just a beautiful looking structure. And Carmel is whited out here in the background, green screened or whatever you want to call it, but that's exactly where the boys' locker room would be. And this is what you would see when you come into Carmel. And it's really a nice cutout. They just chopped off the roof, and they've got a couple of serious structural beams, and then some other ones which were all sized properly. This is the front. Here's the Jesus statue and garden, and up here is the Bransma on this side. And it's a full-size soccer field, again, making a little bit better use of the space. And not full size for outdoor, but a bigger than normal indoor soccer field. And then they've got seating and fun stuff like that over there. But in the basement, they have a pool with my personal favorite, the lounges. So if you're not swimming, you can. I don't see too much natural light down there, but maybe get some UV rays from the other lighting. And this is a beautiful rendering of what it would look like inside. You've got the walls, and then it's squared at the corners, and some relaxing seating over here. And then they've got the beams in the ceiling. This one's a little bit of a low ceiling, but they did have code requirement that you can only go so high. So anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and that's what the civil kids have been up to this year.